4,000. Big numbers that Welmu is standing up to right now and looking to try and upset. As we go into game number 3, spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner is that man himself. So representing Finland and Neurosoft. Give it up for Welmu. Spawn down to the bottom left-hand corner as our blue Protoss. He's chased things back a bit here in game number 3 after going down in game number 2, representing Korea and MVP. Give it up for Duckdeok.
And do while this game kicks off, do take some time to go over to Twitter, whether it be you sit on your laptop computer or if you have the phone, whatever you're using to do it. Do make sure to go over and hashtag WCS. Join the conversation. There's a lot of people in there right now. I mean, we've got the likes of Rotterdam, the WCS America caster that's watching the games right now. So thank you for tweeting into hashtag WCS. Thanks for watching, my friend. And then you've got pro players as well, like Baby Knight, who actually lost versus Welmu. Don't remind him. No. But, you know, it's awesome. Awesome to see everyone, you know, tweeting like that. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, Baby Knight actually watches a lot of these shows.
He watched yesterday too.
Hi, Baby Knight. We love you. He's a nice guy. And, well, we'll see now if Welmu is able to carry the torch here for Protoss and Welmu. As, well, Duckdeok, he's certainly showing a very cool style himself. I really do like the Voidray incorporation with that follow-up assault. Yeah. But Welmu adapted well from game number 1 to game number 2.
And I think that big adaptation was the amount of hallucinated Phoenix and the sentry energy that he spent. There was so many of them. Scouting out all the different possibilities his opponent could go for, seeing the doubles robotics facility, which is actually the end key, which enabled him to go for that push right in there, right in the middle, before the Colossus count even got, I think it was like 1 or 2, and off double robotics facility, that's not a lot because it wasn't really kicked in yet. And Welmu really displaying some excellence, and I love that adaptation though. Just if you compare the reason he lost game 1 is because he had no idea what was coming, to what he did in game 2, where he saw everything and then was able to win, that's a really strong play.
And translating into game number 3 now, does he just do the same? Does he just try to strive for that information and then shut his opponent down with that knowledge? It's a very impressive way to play. And Duckdeok, meanwhile, does he deviate things up? Does he go for something a little bit different? Right now, he does have no second guy. He does have the second gateway on the way here. So it looks like it's going to be that heavier Stalker focus to begin with. Does he go for the aggression? I think with this probe moving out and to throw a pylon down maybe might happen.
We'll see. I mean, if he throws down a pylon now, it's a long way until warp gate's ready. He might just try to poke in first and then maybe go out and try and do it after, but it is a balance that he has to deal with.
Yeah, Mr. Baby Knight indeed, tweeting us. Good to see I'm not the only one falling to Welmu's mid to late game PvP. It's a strong one. Baby Knight is renowned as one of the strongest PvPs in Europe. But Welmu looking very good right now. As Duckdeok, he's going to have to contend with that. And interestingly enough, Welmu is also getting out a similar amount of Stalkers to his opponent. Just one behind, obviously, because he did dedicate to that more defensive sentry that can accrue that energy. And look where the Duckdeok probe currently is.
Yeah, it's right on the natural, checking for an expansion play or not. So he's like saying, I'm not going to commit to anything now, warping units if you're not expanding, like he did last game. So even he's adapting a little bit more to his opponent. But both players very similar in their kind of setup. They're 3 gateways. Unit compositions are a little bit more different, as we see Welmu focusing very heavily on sentries, which means he will try to expand soon. And he has found that probe, but he didn't find it. It wasn't on attack move, it was on move command, which is a little bit sloppy. Yep. Definitely should be on attack move there.
This is the eternal battle, Mothership Core versus Mothership Core. Who wins? The answer is no one for now. And, well, this probe, he still pokes up and he got confirmation of that Nexus. So
oh my god, he just made a Colossus.
Wait a what? Oh, what the? What is going on?
He's like, oh, rats. I think that meant to be a hallucinated Phoenix.
Maybe.
I'm quite sure, actually. It's... and whereas I think that it's the X and C, that's right, the X and C button for Colossus.
Oh yeah,
and,
so close.
So when you want to make a hallucinated Phoenix, it's X and the Colossus is C, so I'm pretty sure he just misclicked. That's a little bit unfortunate.
Very nice time warp, almost gets the Stalker there. He has to micro that Stalker back, otherwise the Mothership Core could take it, but at the same time he would have lost the Mothership Core as well, so doesn't want to be too sloppy about his control here. Should get the cancellation on the Nexus by the looks of things. A different story to game number 2. Very
different here, and Welmu's back in his main base. There's the Stargate down, which is building Phoenixes here. instead of the Oracle, he's saying, all right, you know what happened in game 2? I did not do enough damage with that Oracle. Do you know what I'm going to do in game 3 is I'm going to build Phoenixes, and I'm going to make sure that I can pick up these units, or the units that you have importantly, and oh no, a Warp Prism's coming in. If that runs into the Phoenix, and Phoenixes.
And there's one path on this map that is very, very heavily patrolled by air defenses as well as air aggression, which is that one down the south.
Wait, he actually cancelled the Phoenix. He was like, all right, I'm actually just going to expand here, and then decided to build a Void Ray. Void Ray is still going to beat the Warp Prism down, but he didn't want to dedicate to trying to go for the bust. He's like, I'm just going to expand here. It's too risky to try and break my opponent down. I will go ahead and play the game longer.
The Warp Prism is now moving out here. The Hallucinated Phoenix kind of has a look around and pretty much kind of clears out the way, as well as gathers the intel to see if this is going to be worth it or not. But, I mean, he just has to go for it anyway, right? With the soft container, knowing that there's a natural down for his opponent, it's tough.
He's got to be careful with this Warp Prism because it will die very fast. It's been spotted early as well. The Warp Prism is spotted, but he spotted the Void Rays. They're in the mineral line. Duckdeok's saying, right, this guy's kind of on one base. It's kind of funny. It's really funny. I'm on 2.
Snarf.
You can only come in via Warp Prism, so, or, you know, anything crazy. So he's left units inside his main base, which is kind of smart. Welmu's checking to see if they're still there. Are they? Yes.
Yes, they are.
So he's not going in there anytime soon.
Unfortunately for Duckdeok, he does end up losing a pylon next to that natural of Welmu, because the soft container now has to subside and go away. He may lose a second pylon as well. An annoyance for Duckdeok, but with his Nexus timing at the position that it is, he's more than happy to do so. Welmu with pretty fast Colossus in this game. Don't see them as fast as this normally in PvP nowadays.
Yeah, and I think that he realizes he's a little bit behind, and he may try to go for a 2-base attack of his own, and Duckdeok very smartly sees the robotic space, sees the Twilight Council down too. I think that Welmu in this game is feeling the pressure a little bit. He is playing from behind here, and very smartly. And actually, as I say that, it gets scouted? I was going to say very smartly as on a second Stargate, saying that, dude, you're actually just going to go Colossus really early in this game. I can just continue to build up Void Rays. You may not have enough to actually deal with anything here, and Thermal Lance gets cancelled, and so does the Colossus. So both players really picking up intel and really switching up their strategies here. And what we're going to see from Welmu is probably just a more focus around similar playstyle last game. No Colossus, DTs, Archons, a mix of units here.
What a weird one. I mean, in a battle where you have a lot of scouting intel with Hallucinated Phoenix, so mobile, so relatively cheap in terms of how much they cost, when you pretty much have perfect information about each other, some weird things can happen.
Yeah, you keep reacting to your opponent all the time. And Welmu's going to come in and try to scout again, as he does make his way forwards, as Duckdeok also has quite a strong army. Welmu pokes in, sees this double Stargate still. Will check down the natural, but this is going to be an attack that he's going to have to try and hold on to, but because he went over to Colossus Robotics Facility and Robotics Bay and tried to get Colossus, he didn't start doing what he needed to do fast enough here. So it's like a timing now that Duckdeok can hit because of the way that Welmu's trying to react, and now he scouts it. And I think that he may not, I think this may end, you know, kind of anticlimactic the way that this series has gone, unfortunately. I'm not sure he can do this.
He may not last the night here, as well. Those 3 Void Rays provide a lot of firepower. I mean, he may even just hallucinate some units again and hope for the best.
Well, if he can get to DTs, again, he may be able to buy himself some time. The Dark Strand's about to finish. There's no Observer in here, and it's only just now been spotted right there. So DTs are going to be the savior of Welmu. He's going to be able to warp in aggressively, super fast this time, but there is an Observer already in position. That's the one Observer that's in this game, so not as good as Welmu would hope for here.
Good positioning with that Stalker as well to block, then move up that ramp, and even the Naturals Dark Templar doesn't do too much either. He needs one defensively here to actually push this back. There's still only one Observer out for Duckdeok, so it's over the other side of the map, and it's trying to get there, I believe.
But there's no Archons in this army, and Archons are the key in actually defending against these Void Rays, because the Void Rays, once charged up, will destroy absolutely everything that's there. So he needs to focus, yes, on DTs, but he needs gas to build Archons too. So he really can't do both. It's one or the other. Does he use straight up DTs, but what happens if there's an Observer there? So he has to eliminate that and just go straight for Archons, which means he doesn't have that high beat DPS unit, that element of surprise anymore.
But it seems that Welmu has been able to deter him with the threat, at least, of a Dark Templar being there without the Observer. So now Welmu buys himself a little bit of time which isn't too bad from all. And the Voidrays are on the way to try and hunt down that Warp Prism.
Yeah, I really feel the Warp Prism is the thing that brought Duckdeok back, saying that I don't want to let this get in my base with a bunch of Zealots and DTs and stuff. That's too risky. I'm in the lead in this game. I don't want to mess up. And he comes searching for the Warp Prism and does find it, or misses it, and he did see it, but Welmu does escape. Meanwhile, I mean, if we look at Welmu, who's definitely still playing this game from behind, but he's really low in probes. He's stopped probe production. It seems like he's just going to go for a timing. It seemed to be his game plan from the majority of this game, playing from behind because of the way that the openings happened. He's got +2 on the way now, and he crunches that and starts probe production again.
I do like that Duckdeok, though, has not neglected his upgrades this game. That was one of the big factors in the previous game that did hurt him a lot. +3 against 0? That's a big difference there. But Duckdeok has a great supply advantage in this game. 81 army supply to 58 right now, as Welmu tries to ramp that up a bit more.
And well, we're going to see a third base from Duckdeok, and also a high Colossus count rising soon, because he has a second robotics facility. So he's going to try and make his army really strong. Welmu's on search of that Nexus, actually, because he will want to do his own soon. Sees the probe, that's good enough to know that the Nexus is on its way.
Yeah.
You don't just send a probe out there randomly, so he throws down his own in return here.
That's actually, I mean, Duckdeok's army is pretty menacing right now.
It's so scary.
Yeah, there's just no way that Welmu can actually defeat that in a straight-up engagement. So he's going to have to dance around, skirt around whilst this third base goes down if Duckdeok wants to move into the middle of the map, because Duckdeok is going to be moving into the middle of the map far quicker than Welmu would want him to be. So how does he buy the time eventually?
He needs I don't even think he can buy the time, because I think that, well, Duckdeok actually... He's at a very high probe count. He actually needs to be taken third, but it's not like I think Duckdeok's going to attack, even though he probably could. His plan is to expand, so I don't think it's a measurement of time here for Welmu, because Duckdeok can sit back. I think it's a measurement of army and composition. He needs the best setup to take the best potential fight. He needs the best army composition, which entails a lot of scouting information to figure out what his opponent has and what he needs to build.
His poor 2 Zealots, twins, unfortunately not going to be destined for this world for pretty much longer. So bye-bye number 2. You are gone to the Twin Stalkers, and they're pretty happy and content with their result. And Duckdeok here with the Templar Archives on the way as well, starting to mix in Archons with this army. I mean, he's already got great firepower in it.
That's the only thing he's missing, really, is Archons, which Welmu has. Welmu's army, I think, at the moment is better. It's not bigger. It's better quality, but it's not bigger. That's kind of the big point here. And that kind of helps. That kind of brings down that quantity size.
The Archons are kind of stuck in a bit of an odd position here for Welmu, though. He needs to separate. He needs to position this army a little bit better if this engagement's to happen. Welmu does have +2 weapons. On Colossus, that's a big deal in comparison to the +1. Also starts +3 behind this. +2 is rapidly approaching for Duckdeok, but the Archons are now in a bit of a position here for Welmu. They will move on forwards. He's warping in units as well.
Oh, we should have targeted down that pylon on the right-hand side there. No reinforcements would have come in here, and I think this may be possible for Welmu.
It certainly might be. Those Archons actually doing a lot of damage to these very clumped up units here for Duckdeok, and the supply counts evening up very nicely. Welmu with a fantastic engagement. Duckdeok allowing him to get that. Great for Welmu.
Wow, this is excellent. And now with Zealot Charge, you chase down everything. And we saw the supply, we saw the difference. If you look at the units lost tab, it just tells the complete story of the game. Look at how many resources was just thrown away there in that fight. 2 Colossus come from the left-hand side, which did absolutely nothing. +2 attack was never done for Duckdeok when it was done for Welmu. And now we have 66 to 26. There was almost, it wasn't kind of reversed, but it was much heavily more favored for Duckdeok. And now they're on 3 bases. Welmu is set up nicely. This
total reversal.
This is just completely reversed.
A total reversal here.
From the get-go, Duckdeok was in the lead.
Exactly.
From the very beginning, and now it's changed.
At the click of a finger, with Welmu being far better positioned than Duckdeok. He was so clumped up. Those Archons alone were doing massive amounts of damage in that engagement, as well as tanking some, and even, as you said, that pylon there, with the Zealots warping in that position. Duckdeok's Colossi were not doing the damage in the right positions that they wanted to in that engagement. Look at the supplies.
Yeah, I mean, having Archons compared to no Archons,
massive.
The Voidrays become useless to a certain extent, because in an attack move situation, you're focused on time up, you're focused on reinforcements, you're focused on the position. You don't have time to manually target the Voidrays on Stalkers, and especially because they target so fast and will kill them so fast. They were targeting down Archons, and they just don't do that much damage. So it's 6 Voidrays, a lot of army supply, which isn't that strong. And now we have Welmu, 173 supply compared to 129. He's coming actually for the counterattack after what a disastrous fight for Duckdeok. There's the pylon. And Welmu very may well be going into the round of 8 in seconds time. A proxy Nexus comes in because he knows how much
desperation.
He's in.
Absolute desperation here from Duckdeok. Welmu now, the reversal has happened in favor of Welmu. I don't think it's going to happen for Duckdeok, though. He has to have an absolute miracle engagement here for this to work out. It's 6 Colossi right now against 3 Colossi. There are 4 Voidrays here for Duckdeok, but look at those Archons that are also there as well. A great concave here for Duckdeok, though, but I don't know if he's actually going to be able to make this work out. Good charge up with the Voidrays, actually focusing down these Colossi, but there's just not enough here. Welmu with 109 army supply to 16, shreds him up. GG. Welmu moves on to the round of 8. Who would believe it? Taking first place in his round of 32 group, taking first place in his round of 16 group.
Nobody said that he would be in the round of 8, I don't think, out of all the players here. And Welmu just shows his excellence in PvP, even after just, losing the first game. Now jumps off stage, incredibly happy, and finale, Duckdeok, should I say, is going to play in the final match. But wowzers. Welmu is over the moon. He is so happy right now. I can see him over there. Here are the final moments. And just watch his expression. It really is a delight to see the happiness of these players making their way through into the round of 8.
And this is exactly what happens here. There you go. Welmu so happy. But this is WCS EU to a T.